Yeah. Sometimes I like to keep it. It shows the humanity behind.
But yeah, it also shows that my door was open. I should have addressed that
Yeah,
earlier.
things like that. Like I
Yeah.
had my window open once, and in the first episode of the podcast that I have going on right now that just dropped like on Friday. Uh, there's literally like a moment like right as the video cuts out and it goes to like a picture where it explains that our video cut out because we didn't know it cut out.
Right.
I'm just like in that same moment, it's also like, oh shit, I left the window open. Can you close the window real quick?
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, cool. Like that moment works because it's cover for while that text scrolls across the bottom of like, hey, our camera cut out, sorry, and then it actually like cuts into our audio.
Right.
You never know what works out.
It's like when you like watch like the director's commentary of any movie like on a DVD or something,
Yeah.
and they of course explain like all these things that would go completely unnoticed, and it's like, oh no, this thing, no, we meant to do that. Like that's meant to be like symbolic or like a slight storytelling angle, and it's like, no, you just got to turn that light off. Like, don't.
Yeah. Daenerys actually time traveled. That's where she got the Starbucks cup from.
yes. But yeah, I was saying, and that the reason that she even set fire to King's Landing is just because they accidentally used whole milk instead of the soy milk. I get it. I've been there. Yeah. I've been there. So, well, hey, welcome to the podcast, everybody. By the way, I'm, as you know, I'm Destin. We're joined by the very funny Pinak Patel, who also has a podcast as well. Is there an echo in here? It almost sounds like we were just talking about that. Yeah, has a podcast as well. You can catch him doing shows all over Greater Columbus area, all over the Midwest. Not limited to such thriving markets as Marietta, as
oh man, that was a great show.
Various yeah. That was
which, speaking of, we might as well have driven to fucking Marietta. How far this place is?
Oh yeah, like out in the boonies.
Oh my god,
completely void of civilization.
Like just the most bare, empty road the whole way.
Whole way.
And it's just straight, no turns, nothing. Just straight. Just keep going straight on this barren, flat land.
Yep, and it's winter, so you don't even have like pretty leaves to look at like we did a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Nope, just stark, dead wood trees. Yeah, Ohio, gotta love it. But yeah, thank you for coming out here. By the way, it's quite the ask, I know, to get people to leave Columbus, but we're here. Obviously, we're both comedians as well. We're both very avid lovers of very certain niche aspects of nerd culture, which we'll save for later. But anyway, so like I said, comedian. So how long ago have you been doing stand-up comedy?
I guess it'll be a little over 3 years now. Yeah.
Nice.
Like officially,
So a little bit before COVID.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And then so where was your first open mic? Where did you get your start?
I think the first time I ever went up was at Bossy Girls. Now, technically, the first time I ever went up was 3 years before that time. So, like, it was 6 years ago.
Okay.
But I didn't actually avidly start doing comedy till like 3 years ago. But the first time I ever went up on stage, both the first time 6 years ago and 3 years ago, was at Bossy Girls and Shrunken Head. Those are the two places I went to the first times I did comedy.
Okay. Yeah, I think one of my first actual comedy open mics, because when I started, I didn't even think to search comedy open mic. I just searched open mic. So like my first one was Big Room, but it was before they had a comedy night. I was like a year and a half before that. So like, when I went in, I was like, I'm here to sign up. He's like, okay, cool. How much time you need to set up? What equipment do you got? I'm like, I just need a mic, man. He's like, oh, you're doing like poetry? I was like, no, stand up. And the guy is just like, Stand up. Oh, okay. Like we don't get many of those, which already let me know like, hey, this is gonna suck. But I was like, yeah, I didn't bring my acoustic to do Wonderwall covers or anything. None of these songs that's to steal your girlfriend at a party. Like none of those. No You and Me, no Here Without You, no Collide by Howie Day.
Well, hey, the fact that you can do that even is better than me. I can't play guitar.
I know the 6 chords basically.
Yeah.
There's the 4, G, D, E minor, C. I can whip out a B minor every now and then and an A minor. Yeah. Also D minor.
I never learned how to read music. That was the thing.
Okay.
Which is fun because like I do like I DJ as well, and I've been doing that for like years, and I learned how to do that by sound, so I know how like to do it like in its original format, how they would in like the 70s with just 2 turntables and a mixer, and you have to do everything by ear.
Right.
So like I have that aspect, and like I understand that stuff, but I don't know any of the language behind it.
Okay.
So like I'm sure if I sat down and studied like how music works, I could learn it. Like if you put a keyboard in front of me, I can press the keys like well enough to create decent sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know what I'm doing.
That's fine. I learned how to play drums through Rock Band drums. Like they have like in there like on the menu they have like a practice session, and it gives you your sounds you can just bang away. So I just started learning how to teach myself to do your basic rhythm stuff there. Yeah, worked on some fills. Yeah. I just would do that for after school. I mean, because I learned bass at 13. And but I never really learned music like to read sheet music on bass until I was like 18 or 19. I did band in high school though, so that's where I learned. I did learn how to read music from that. But on guitar, I'm a very lazy guitarist. Like I'm a pretty good bass player. I'm a pretty good drummer. Guitar, again, 6 chords. I can play some like generic metalcore stuff, just doing like some chugging things. But no, I don't ever try to pass myself off as any legitimate guitarist or piano. And I went to school to study vocal music education.
Oh, that's cool.
And it is a requirement for a music major that you had to be proficient at piano. And I sucked. I got a tutor. I actually like practiced, which is something I never did with bass, trumpet, French horn, nothing. Singing, never practiced. I practiced piano, and I just cannot do it. So I'm like, this is probably a sign from above. I'm like, hey, maybe I'm not supposed to be a choir teacher. But
is that what you were going for?
Well, because I didn't have any other real skills. I was too ADD to do anything that actually required my brain, and I just couldn't bring myself to go for vocal performance because I was like, what the hell are you gonna do with that? At least vocal music education is like there's a very clear like, hey, you can just be a music teacher.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I did that. But again, I got there and I realized I'm like, 1, I don't like kids. And you kind of have to if you're going to go into education. And then 2, I sucked at the piano. So I'm like, well, all right, screw it. I'll just sing karaoke every weekend. That'll be my music fix.
Yeah.
But
it's a good fix.
Yep. And then here I am now doing stand-up comedy.
Doing a podcast
in my house with you. Yeah.
What's your podcast called?
The Destination Podcast. I forgot to. Thank you. I was really good on the previous episodes. Yeah, I just somehow forgot this one. Yeah, the Destination Podcast. Because what's better than a lazy pun of destination?
No,
that's my fan base. The Destination, all one of them.
Hey, there's a great Native American EDM group called the Hallucina Nation.
Nice.
I would highly recommend them. They
I will
formerly called a Tribe Called Red, formerly known as a Tribe Called Red. But they have some great music. I would definitely recommend it. And they also have like in their album, The Hallucination, they have like intro that explains, that we are the hallucination, talking about like the indigenous peoples, and then there's a later like interlude song called Alia Nation, talking about the white people.
Yeah.
And like
figure another song about that.
And so like it hits on a couple different points because it's alienation as well as a lie nation.
That's the white people dig. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. It hit, that one hits hard.
Nice.
And like this like it's just like the sound of it is very like visceral, of like the throat singer of just like literally like you can just feel like the greed, interpretation through it. It's real good.
Oh yeah.
It feels very much like the ghost face thing from Spirited Away, right?
Yeah.
Like it just has that like sort of energy. It's really cool.
Honestly, a glowing recommendation. I'll check it out. They should team up with Sublime. They could be the Sublimination. The lowest hanging fruit is the juiciest, or is hanging low for a reason. It's the juiciest. So hey, while we're on the subject, man, white people have been fucking up lately.
Lately.
Yeah.
Just lately.
Yeah, like it came out of nowhere.
We had no idea.
Yeah. It was like Bill Cosby. All these years we were like, oh, good, wholesome, clean American fun, and now it's like, oh my god, they're terrible.
Except Eddie Murphy has been talking shit this whole time.
Whole time. And no one listened to Eddie. I'll say, probably just because maybe the suit was too distracting. Maybe that sparkly red leather suit.
Well, they didn't listen to Richard Pryor either, but that's also because he sucked dick, and they don't ever listen to people who suck dick.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he had so many great messages, but he one time talked about sucking dick, and he got burned for it.
I don't get it. What?
Richard Pryor caught fire.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Like he actually burned himself, literally, with flames.
I'm sorry. He Luke Kwon-ducked it. What do you mean?
How did it happen? I think it was like at home or something like that.
That's a deep cut reference for any Buddhists out there. Luke Kwon-duck.
Yeah. All of the Buddhists in this room. Yeah. You really read the room on that one?
That's the Buddhist monk who set himself on fire and he protested the Vietnam War.
Fuck.
On the Rage Against the Machine cover. Yeah.
See, now you're putting in white people terms.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. See, they tried telling people. No one listened.
No one listens, man. No one listens.
They were very clear with their message, and yet, ironically enough, years ago, there was all people being Rage Against the Machine, they should just stick to the music. They should leave the politics out of it. I'm like, have you listened to a fucking song they've done?
Yeah. Which also, speaking of people burning themselves, did you know a dude burned himself on the White House lawn during the Trump era in protest?
No.
Nobody knows about that. That is a thing that actually happened.
Wow. Was he trying to be as orange as Trump or what?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job of making sure nobody knew.
And there's one thing the government does really well. And just so you know, this segment right here probably going to get scrubbed out by the greater powers that be.
YouTube is definitely not going to allow that on it.
No, absolutely not. I'll tweet this video out. Elon's going to snuff that shit out quick. That's right, Elon. We know what you do. Again, I don't know why I'm mentioning it. He'll scrub it.
Yeah, you can't say his name now.
Yeah, demonetize it.
Yeah.
He's like Voldemort now. All of a sudden, a bunch of I don't know what his version of Death Eaters would be, would start showing up, just blasting the house with Avada Kedavras. But
NFT owners, I don't know.
Yeah. That was such a quick flash in the pan too. Like I haven't heard about NFTs until you just brought it up. I haven't heard about NFTs since like February. That went out quick.
You can't introduce something at the beginning of the year and expect people to think it'll last.
Exactly. Like, look at the Oscars. Like, you can't have a movie come out in February and think it's going to win the award for Best Movie of the Year.
Yeah, only Black Panther pulled that off.
Exactly.
And they just got a nomination. They didn't even win.
Yeah. What movie was it that I think Thor: Love and Thunder. I think I saw where they were getting like at least nominations. And they were the only ones. I mean, the fact that like No Way Home, and No Way Home was unfortunately even worse than the February because like I think it's like the Academy, like they start their year basically in like November or December or something like that. It's kind of like Cars, like how like a 2018 is actually made in 2017 or something like that. Yeah. Like I don't think it's like I don't think it follows the exact like calendar year. I think it starts a little bit in the winter, but I don't know where I was going to go with that. I think I was going to hey, superheroes. Let's talk about them. I'm reading my room. Pinak actually has done some comics on comics as well.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be on one as Captain America. Unfortunately, I did it in a room that hates America.
I would say hates America.
I know. But like very much just like of all the Avengers. Like
very much in line with Captain America in the third one.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Civil War Cap. After this isn't protection, this is fear or something like that. Mm-hmm. This isn't freedom, this is fear. Yeah, after that. So between that and Nomad that we got in that watered down Nomad that we got in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Somewhere between there. But
that's my favorite version of Cap, where he just has rolled up sleeves in his suit for some reason.
Yeah.
It's great.
And
everyone else has forearm protection. He's like, no. My forearms, they got to be exposed. You got to see what you're about to get punched with.
Exactly. You got to see the veins in Uncle Sam's forearms.
He's like, he still had gloves too, so it was just the forearms being exposed. It was wild.
Which like, and I'm pretty sure they were like fingerless gloves too. So
they were.
It's like at that point it was almost like he was kind of half-heartedly doing like a Street Fighter like get up with himself.
It was great. I loved it. It was his like Captain America the boxer.
Right.
And it's so good. I loved it.
I'm saying, you're free to catch these hands. But no, I'm. Where do you stand on Phase 4 of the MCU? I mean, obviously they're drawing some criticism for the whole quantity over quality thing.
Yeah, well, I mean that's
you
what
see
you get
it every
with
now and
Disney
then.
Plus.
Yeah.
Like they're coming out with all these shows and everything, and I think like honestly right now, looking back at everything, Shang-Chi is probably one of my favorite Marvel properties that exists right now. And I think Miss Marvel was also incredible. Mm-hmm. I fucking loved
Miss Marvel was very slept on.
Yeah, I loved that show. It was so well done. Literally, like all of the songs in it I had been listening to for like the 6 months prior. And then like I hear all these Indian songs that I've been like listening to for like half a year or a year almost at that point. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like they really are going all in.
Yes.
And that shit was great. And there was even like some Pakistani like music, like specific music as well, and not just like Indian like stuff.
Right.
So like they really like went all in. The Jinn story is actually a thing that like Pakistani people have actually like talked about. That is a story that you hear as like a kid. So like they did such a good job with that. And Iman Vellani is one of my favorite people. I think Kevin Feige should retire and put her in charge. Yes. Like I like it. Yeah, your time is coming to an end soon, sir. You're getting past this point of really being able to follow this lore, and she's corrected you and you haven't liked it, and you want to what? You gotta step back. You gotta let this girl take over.
Yeah,
because she deserves to.
Exactly. I stood up and I applauded when she tweeted at Feige for being very disappointed in how they handled Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness. I love it. I mean, she's like, everyone talks about, RDJ being perfectly cast, or Tom Holland being the perfect Spider-Man. No, she's the perfect Ms. Marvel, because Ms. Marvel is a fangirl by nature, and she is a fangirl. Like, she's very, like, she knows her shit.
She had her own costume made when she was in the 7th grade of Ms. Marvel. She literally had and went as Miss Marvel for Halloween, Kamala Khan, and no one knew who she was, so she took the comic book around with her. So that way she could be like, I'm this girl. Like, and it's just like,
she manifested
literally. And she deserves the whole Marvel, like, empire.
I remember a lot of my friends, we were writing it off. I actually watched it. And I mean, I think as far as Disney Plus series shows, I think it's kind of right up there with like WandaVision and actually I think it's probably second to WandaVision.
Yeah. Honestly, I have there are points of contention I can say about WandaVision. There are points that I can be like, there was like this thing that was like, what were we doing here? What's going on with this? And like there are things that they didn't fully explain, and they didn't fully like really get into, and they kind of went back to the whole same versus same fight again in that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like in Miss Marvel, there is a lot less things you can point out as like flaws and issues. Like, yeah, I think it's one. I would say it's probably my like top show above WandaVision, and then probably WandaVision and Loki.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, also you brought up the same versus same fight, like, again, how it's just like, unfortunately that's the trope of Marvel now, is it's always some big CGI fight of something versus something. That's my only real critique with Shang-Chi. I loved it up until it got to the dragon, the two dragons fights, basically, because at that point, Shang-Chi was like a side character in that fight. He was behind the reins, but
he was also the one who like awoke the dragon. Like, the dragon awoke because of him.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of get that. But also, like, I think the main point of like contention wasn't the dragons; it was letting go and like growing past like your guilt, because that was the issue that his dad needed to face, because his dad was only the villain because he let his guilt take over,
right,
and he wouldn't let go of what happened. And once he finally did and passed the rings on to Shang-Chi, that's when the story, like, it was like, okay, we have, like, that was when it was actually like resolved, and now it was just a matter of taking care of the thing, which is why I feel like it was taken care of quite easily.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it all the way. I mean, we got that fight of Shang, and then we got Wenwu, and we had that perfect resolution there again. Like, the central character struggle was resolved, and then again, now it was just like, now we need to remind you that it's a Marvel movie by having CGI 1 versus CGI 2. Like I said, but I mean, so again, they concluded the story very well. It was just that's the moment that it took me out of this really good struggle between a father and son. That's also a great kung fu movie as well. And then it reminded me, it's a Marvel movie. But like I said, that's my only gripe. That's my only gripe.
Yeah.
Well, okay, actually, take that back. Whoever decided to have the the scene on like the side of the building outside of the club, the fight club,
the scaffolding fight,
and whoever decided to have Aquafina do the damsel in distress scream should be fired. It was so shrill. That's it. That's 2 gripes.
Yeah,
I was like, who had her screaming?
Man, Aquafina is someone who like I struggle to deal with, like, especially because she started by doing a black scent, and like, it's just weird, man. But yeah. I would. There are some parts that like I would agree there are definitely some flaws in that movie. I just like it definitely shows that they're trying to push into a new direction. There's just the restraints of Marvel that they couldn't break out of.
The formula.
And I think that's slowly starting to be pushed more and more now.
Yeah.
So I hope we can get to some more grounded stories that actually are on the individual level, because I agree, because like up until that point it was a father-son story, or a father-son like father and children story,
a son running away from the expectations of his father, a father who placed his expectations because he didn't want
and the daughter who actually met those expectations because of issues of Stockholm syndrome. And so it's just like all of these elements of a good family story were there, and you didn't need that Marvel element. And so I think hopefully we can get some more things along that level.
Right. See, the idea of like a grounded story they should have based stuff off of is the masterpiece that is the formerly Netflix Daredevil series.
Yeah.
Because that is a grounded story. Mm-hmm. You don't have aliens, you don't have mystical forces. You got some crime people, you got a blind lawyer, but he's dishing out his Catholic guilt on people. It takes place
in a small section of the Manhattan Island.
Exactly.
Like it literally takes place in like what a 2-mile radius.
Yeah. We're talking maybe 12 blocks.
Right. Hell's Kitchen is not a very big amount of space. And for all intents and purposes, the show does not leave Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, it does for Defenders. That's it. The actual series of Daredevil. Yeah, actually I take it back. There's that prison.
There are moments.
The prison.
Yeah.
But
there are moments where it does. But for the general most part, the show takes place in Hell's Kitchen or New York generally.
Yeah.
The only time Daredevil has left New York is She-Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, that's a masterclass of just focusing very, very much on like 2 or 3 small things and just doing them very, very well. Because it gave us one of Marvel's best villains, and obviously, most people will criticize Marvel for not being as strong on the villain side as their DC counterpoint. But no, when you really explain and get into detail with D'Onofrio's Kingpin, is
also I think Marvel has great villains.
They do.
I mean, I think Marvel has just as many iconic villains. I mean, it probably more. I think the MCU has done a great job of creating iconic villains as well, out of villains that weren't iconic. But also, it's not like Doctor Doom hasn't affected culture greatly. You know?
Right.
You don't have MF Doom without Doctor Doom. So, it's... Yeah. There's definitely a whole lot of influence there.
Yeah.
I mean... Yeah, so many
Silver Surfer,
Wu-Tang shit. Yeah, Silver Surfer we reference a lot, but so many Wu-Tang stuff has references to Marvel and DC and everything. But
I mean, hell, Ghostface was one of the few people pre-2008 that was big on Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
because before RDJ got a hold of him, Iron Man was not that popular of a character.
Mm-hmm.
He was modeled after the real life Howard Hughes, which also Stanley references. That's why he named his father Howard, was a direct because of Howard Hughes.
Yeah.
But sure, he was rich. He was eccentric enough, and he had some charm, when he was doing public stuff. But yeah, for the most part, he was just this kind of hey, I got this money, let's do something good with it. But he never really explored much out of that. When RDJ got a hold of him, gave him that now trademark MCU snark, Tony Snark, am I right? And gave him some genuine issues to work through as well. I mean, it got through the demon in the bottle storyline pretty well in Iron Man 2,
right?
As evident of him pissing himself in the movie.
Yeah, but as much as they could without him actually being a full-on alcoholic, even though he was drunk in that scene.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I'm trying to think here, because other than that, I mean, we'll get out of Marvel here. But so DC, did you think of the new Batman?
I mean, this is the Batman that's literally in hockey pants at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I think there are parts of it that I enjoyed. Honestly, the way I watched the movie is it's a Catwoman movie with Batman on the side because she does all of the work.
Yeah.
And he's basically just fumbling through the whole movie. He's terrible at investigating. He never actually solves anything.
Yep.
Any of the things that he did solve were because she gave him the answer. So, quite frankly, Zoe Kravitz is the movie, in my opinion, and she was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there was only maybe two small things that Batman himself picked up. Everything else was either Alfred, the fact that the biggest find of the whole movie came from some random grunt in the Gotham City Police.
Yeah,
with the Tucker.
Now, to be fair, that is an accurate Batman story. Batman is not a good detective. Let's be real. If you've read the comics, he kind of sucks at it. Yeah. That's how you get it to be a long enough story to be interesting.
Right.
Because if he was actually good, or if they were actually really complex things like Sherlock Holmes things, it would be a whole other story.
Yeah.
But it's not. It has to be a guy who punches stuff a lot. So he can't be that good.
Yeah, exactly. He has to find himself in situations in hallways or crowded subway stations.
Yeah.
So that he can fight his way out.
Right. It's not like a Sherlock Holmes investigation where there's never gonna be a fight scene. That's why the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes were weird. Sherlock Holmes is moderate fighter. He's not. Right. He's not. It's not to say that he can't fight, but that's not what he does.
No.
He will go undercover or in disguise or whatever. And there's been moments where Batman has done that, but not nearly well enough. Not yeah.
Hey, we have a surprising development here. We're joined by the wonderful Sista Lou.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Mwah. Wonderful. Yes, I brought cookies.
Oh, yeah, and you didn't even need to because you're sweet enough.
Thank you.
Yeah. So those of you that don't know Sista Lou, she's a fantastic comic. Well, you can see her all around the greater Midwest area. Actually, she was just in Kentucky very recently.
Absolutely, Elizabethtown. What's up, E-Town?
Elizabethtown. Wasn't that the
big small town?
Wasn't that
big small town?
Wasn't that an Orlando Bloom rom-com, the Elizabethtown?
What? I don't know. Orlando was they had multiple comedy shows going on in the same night. People have been opening breweries down there, and so I can't say that word. Breweries.
Breweries.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird word to say.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I have a problem with those words like that.
A brewery.
It's
like
really
War of
just,
the Worlds.
it's technically just the same sound, but you're just making a little like tongue move in the difference. It's just weird. Breweries.
Breweries.
But no, thank you for hopping on here.
Yeah.
And this edit's going to be so seamless when I do it in post. I mean, it's going to look professional.
Or all of it's still going to just stay in there.
Or I forget. I just forget to edit it. So we have this 2 hour long with this nice long intermission in the middle.
So like, when will this air?
That is a great question.
Okay.
I'll put it up.
Because I was gonna
like
put these
2 weeks
Christmas
or so.
earrings on, and I was like, should I wear the Christmas earrings or just
I'll say it'll be after.
It's going to be
after Christmas.
Oh, okay, then I was gonna wear them.
Because I'm off from my day job after Tuesday. I'm good. Thank you. Now I have a lot of next week. Though I'll actually be doing like the editing for all the stuff. So I'll edit.
Well, I'm proud of you for putting in the work, honey.
Well, thank you.
You know, ain't nobody gonna do it for us.
That's right.
That's why I want to support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just
we all we got, right?
Yeah, because I mean, unfortunately, to be a successful stand-up comic, it's more about than just being funny anymore.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter. Just hey, I got this like great 5-10 minute clip. This ended. Now you gotta have so much other stuff behind the scenes. So
it's not the 80s. You can't get on Letterman with the 5 minutes.
Exactly. So.
And then like I've been studying more on this algorithm shit, you know, and being more intentional about what I'm liking and the trending shit and these hashtags and oh my goodness. And it's something different, you know, but you got to embrace it. Definitely.
Yeah.
I used to really enjoy getting online. Now I'd be like, oh my God, okay.
It's work.
It's sure.
It's work.
Yeah.
I struggle with it every day, like all the time. That's why I struggle with posting for like things like I gotta get better about like posting reels and
yeah.
Even
I'll just take like
just general posts.
Yeah, I'll be on like online for like 3 days, you know, messaging, doing all the stuff I need to, and then I take 2 days off. So I'm like 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. For my mental health.
Yeah, a couple of days is enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing. I gotta fuck up the algorithm because all of mine are a bunch of other comedians. We're always liking each other's shit, and so now I have to go find other shit to like so I can bring it back around to me and filter that shit the fuck out. Not that I don't want to support, but like I need to get my post to be seen on other timelines.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because if it's just being shown in the comments, then it's not really doing anything for you.
Oh, not at all. My Facebook page, that's just for fun. That's to me, Facebook reminds me of high school.
It's very much high school.
It reminds me of high school.
It's just like those.
Because I never graduated.
Have you guys?
Oh, honey.
No, I didn't.
Have you guys seen those like new like food hall places where it's just like a high school cafeteria but for modern day? Like for like full grown adults, there's like a bar in the middle, but there's like 15 different restaurants you can go to.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is just a mall cafeteria,
right?
Without the mall.
Yeah.
Without the mall.
Like, what did we need this for? I didn't like going to the school cafeteria or the mall cafeteria. Like,
and if you're gonna do a school cafeteria thing, at least have rectangle pizza. If you're gonna do it,
man,
right.
that fiestada though, the fiestada.
I don't know, man. My school,
like the little hexagon shape. Oh, fiestada. I don't know what it was called, but it was amazing.
My school was bougie. We had takeout. Like we would have like Monday was Donato's Day, Tuesdays was Domino's, and Wednesday was Papa John's, and then Thursday and Friday was leftovers of the rest of it, and then sometimes like house-made pizza. But no, for the most part, we had delivery.
No, my I think it was my sophomore year. One of the buildings, because like Newark used to be a campus-style high school.
Yeah.
So like, in the gym, they would always serve Donato's pizza. And at sophomore year, there was a girl I really liked, and I was like trying to date. So I went there every day. You know, I'd sit with her and talk about her and stuff. But I ate Donato's pizza every day for a whole year. And to this day, it makes me sick.
I'm sure. Just the smell of it.
Like, that's the only reason I even started ever putting ranch on pizza, because like halfway through the year, I'm like, I have to do something to switch it up.
Yeah,
I like the unicorn sauce at Late Night Slice. That unicorn sauce.
Yeah, so I found out there's anchovies in that.
Shut the hell up.
That was a weird discovery to find out.
Kindred,
because
right there.
I'm a vegetarian, and
wow,
I did not. No one told me. I just like my partner. Like after we were eating it, they're like, hey, and they like showed me the package where it says contains anchovies. I'm like, oh fuck.
That's where the
did it jack you up? Did it make you palpitate or something?
It's like I just don't like to eat meat. I mean, it's fine. Like I'm not gonna get like fucked up on it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like I mean, depending on like if I eat like a lot of it, it probably would mess with my like system because like I'm not used to eating it. Like I was raised vegetarian, like my whole family's vegetarian, but I've had meat a few times over like my life in random periods. Like when I was like 21 or 22, I went to Vegas for my cousin's like bachelor party, and we had like the first night we all met up at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, and the only thing I could eat there was scalloped potatoes, so that's what I was eating. But my cousin was trying to get me to eat like a piece of his steak. And I was like, all right, like it would be worth trying. Like, this is like the place to try it, if anywhere.
Okay.
And then his best man was like, no. Don't try his. Try mine. Because he was just like, your cousin's shit is terrible. Because like he was just because like he got his like medium rare and it was like more expensive or whatever. My cousin, I guess, gets his like well done or some shit.
Oh no!
See, like that's
then good for your cousin. Good for your cousin.
Yeah, the medium well it makes it tender.
So his best man,
right.
Yeah, so his best man was like, no, try if you're gonna try anyone, try this one. And so I was like chewing on it, I was eating it, and like all I could I just started rubbing on my arm because like I started feeling the muscles and the tendons in like the steak. And I'm just like feeling my arm, like this feels the same. This feels the exact same. And I'm just like this, like I just started thinking about that. I'm like it just was weird. It just felt like so weird because I could feel how the textures were similar to the muscles and tissues that are inside my own body.
Yes, and you know what? When I do that, it turns me on. I'm biting in that motherfucker. Yeah,
let the juices drip.
Yeah, gobble, no more.
I get that because I've bitten into a thigh and I've been fine with that.
I think I gave myself an allergy with shrimp. I promise. I love shrimp. I promise. And I mean, there was just nothing. I cook it so many different ways. You know how Bubba Gump was like fried, shrimp, barbecue, all kinds. So I like that shit so much. I gave myself an allergy with it. You know? Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, I when I was in like high school, we went to Canada, and we have a family friend up there, and he was like, we were during the day, we had nothing to do, so he's like, I'm gonna take you to my buddy's farm. I'm like, wow, Canada sucks. Like, this is what you do for fun. You go to dairy farms, but we go to this dairy farm, right? And the day we go, there happened to be a live birth. And not as delicious as it sounds, but gives birth, and they clean the little calf off and everything. And we saw it and all that, and I was like, it's beautiful. She's radiating, all that stuff like that. But he has the calf and like turns to me and is like, you want to hold the baby calf? And I'm like, fuck no.
No.
Like, because I want to keep eating beef. Like, I hold a baby calf. That's it for me.
Right. He's looking at you and wiggling and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of my sister's ex-boyfriends said that he had to stop eating like a pig because he befriended a pig. And there's like, God damn it, they're so fucking smart. I can't do this. I don't know if you know, pigs are like the fourth smartest animal.
That's
like,
fine.
So like, yeah, they're like.
I've also seen a pig eat some bacon.
Yeah.
So
pigs are fourth smartest animal. Have you met a cop?
Well, humans don't make the list.
He was talking about Letterman one time. I saw him. He had his homie on the street with a pig, and they had fried some bacon, and he was feeding the pig bacon. And David Letterman laughed so hard he fell out the chair. He was just like, I can't. You all have to stop. Like, I can't believe this is happening. And I was really young when I saw it. This had to be fucking ages ago. But I was watching TV like, oh shit! Oh wow, the pig was fucking it up, tearing up that bacon. I was like, and I still would eat it. Somebody help me.
You're just sitting there thinking like, that's bacon stuffed pig right there.
Occasionally I will. Especially like for flavor, I get like some cubed ham or something and saute it in some olive oil and mushrooms, peppers, and all that stuff, and then do my cauliflower rice and stuff with that. But it still has like a ham flavor base or whatever. It's not meat all through it, but man.
You were describing all the different ways that Bubba made the shrimp. That's how I felt. I was in the Dominican Republic a couple weeks ago, and that was take that, but with just pork, just all these different variations of some kind of smoked pork, different hams, different bacons. Just they were crazy with the pork, which because part of the reason I was thinking, I was like, I'm going there for seafood. It's an island. It's surrounded by seafood. I want seafood, but just about everything on their buffet menu was like some variation of smoked pork.
Is somebody's phone going off?
I think it's mine, but I can't see.
Is it yours?
It's not mine. I mean, it's on silent, but it's also just a group chat for our next show.
Oh yeah, mine's muted. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I just keep hearing vibrating. But I'm like looking at your phone. There's nothing like going on.
Right, there's nothing.
What you're just picking up on is all the good vibes between the two of us.
That's right.
That's all you're picking up on.
It's just vibrating through the tape.
Right.
Good vibes. It's always good vibes. When I'm around Pinak, it's always good vibes. Always.
Exactly. This table's got me like Michael J. Fox.
Oh no. No.
Oh, what Sister Lou backs out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I will politely. You know me. I'll be like, oh, yeah, no.
Hey, sometimes the only way you can know where the line is to cross it.
This is true. And you know what? I don't judge because at any other given time, it might be me. You know what I'm saying? So I just say, that's what I tell my best friend, ooh, girl, I'm backing off that. No. I mean, I gotta back off that. But then other times I be on the shit.
I say we may not be habitual line steppers, but we'll do it from time to time.
Absolutely. You gotta know what's the line.
Yeah, you can't know it unless you tiptoe,
right?
I'm a whole independent woman, right? I'm out here doing my thing, and I've been that way long before Sister Lou even became a thing. So the guy I'm dating, he tested me out this way. He's an old school guy. We were gonna go somewhere, and I decided to drive. So he's walking up to the door, and I'm already in the car, and he opened the door, and he said, "Hey, okay, I'm gonna drive." And I said, "Excuse me?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drive." I said, "You get what the fuck? Close the door." No, you get on the passenger side. And so he came over and he was like, "I was just playing. I just want to see what you was gonna say." I'm like, "Oh my God." We were just talking about the difference in, men and women relationships, how we communicate, and us being entertainers. If you get someone that's so passive or submissive, they don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. Sorry, not sorry. To know us is to love us and hate us at the same fucking time, right? So sad.
It's so funny.
But I liked him because he's an asshole. I like him. So yeah.
It's so funny.
Love it. She pointed at me when she did that too.
Like,
he's an asshole.
Yeah, you know what that's like.
That's why you don't hear me argue the point. I mean, I'm like, I'll take it on the chin, but.
Yeah, no, that was just funny because I went to New York recently with Shayna and Halima, who are two other comics from Columbus here.
That was a good trip.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was funny though because on the way there, I drove the whole way there because it was raining and shit. We had my mom's car, and I'm like, I gotta be responsible, and it's raining.
But it's
crazy.
A long ass drive though.
Yeah,
Isn't that 12 hours?
It was 9 hours, 9 to 12 hours, depending on because stops and shit like that. But it wasn't too bad, honestly. We were smoking weed the whole way. It was fine.
I'll edit that out in post.
Yeah, I
don't know. New York, you can smoke weed everywhere.
Yeah,
now. It's wild. I was smoking weed and walked across the Fox News building. It was a good time. But
I'll keep that in mind with my crack pipe.
Yeah. But we're on our drive back. I let Shayna drive for part of the way. I was fine with that, and like she made a joke like, "Oh yeah, you didn't let us drive because we were women, whatever." I'm like, "No, it's because of the rain and shit." So I let her drive on the way back, and it was fine. Then Halima drove, and I was like, "Nope, we're done. We're switching back. I'm taking over the rest of the way." Like, her anxiety was giving me anxiety. I was just terrified.
And this is not the time nor the place.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I was just like, "All right, you drove for an hour." And you went 80 miles per hour in the mountains. We're done.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's insane. I only go 75, so she's living on the edge.
Yeah, I literally was like, "Oh my girl, we are not in a hurry. Slow down to 70." Like, and like it was just funny. We were making fun of her a little bit on like the drive back. Like, it's just
like you're really that excited to get back to Ohio,
right? I love coming home though. It's fun to go out and as much shit as we talk about Ohio, I still love coming home.
Same.
Yeah.
I still love it.
Yeah. I like Ohio is a place you come back to.
Right.
You know, it's not a place you want to be at all the time.
Yeah.
But you can afford it here. You can get other places relatively easy.
Yeah.
You know, I go up and down the road, especially, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, very regularly. So. Yeah.
It's just you can easily hit both other cities from here, which is nice.
Yep, and we're not too far from Pittsburgh either. It's about the same exact distance from. Actually, for me out here in the sticks, it's even close. I'm closer to Pittsburgh than I am to Cleveland or Cincinnati. Out here,
okay.
Yeah. Only by like 5-10 minutes, but still.
Yeah. That is interesting, though. Yeah. I mean, even like Indianapolis isn't even that far from Columbus. No, that's still about like the same drive. Like Detroit, it's about the same.
Yeah, Detroit's an easy drive.
Yeah, it's a good time, man.
We're really living up to that Midwestern stereotype of like, we'll just drive anywhere.
Oh, right. Hell yeah.
But here's the thing: I do have a limit now. I don't go probably more than 4 or 5 hours at this point. I used to drive, like you said. I learned how to driving to South Carolina and stuff with my family, and man, I would love it. And I would drive to Atlanta like it was nothing. But now I'd be like, oh, how much is the flight? Because Atlanta got a nonstop real quick. Let me go and get that flight because I'm not doing 16 hours on a weekend and I'm trying to perform. That's 16 hours on the highway round trip. I don't got that to do.
No, I definitely think like it's variable, right? Like
4 hours. That's it.
If I was going to New York by myself, I probably would have flown. But because there was other people there, I feel like the money management kind of works out to drive over flying because you can split all of those things and so that kind of was the biggest reason to drive.
I feel it.
But if you're by yourself, going to Atlanta by myself, I don't know, I may do that now, but the more money that comes with that, the more I'm going to be like, we can pass on.
Yeah,
we can fly.
Furthest I drove in one big trip was from here to Toronto, and that was with the stop, of course, at the border and stopping for lunch and all that was 6.5, 7 hours. That's just your whole day. When it's just your whole day, so my new limit is if even by myself, I won't drive more than 5 hours at a time without a day's rest in between.
I'm telling you, shit. I was going to say, I wanted to drive an RV out west. I'm looking for a one-way deal or something because I know I'm going to fly back. I don't have the patience for all that. But one of those, I know they made a lot of funny old movies about it. Remember that moving movie with Richard Pryor? You guys didn't see that movie? It's called Moving. It's fucking hilarious. But he hired somebody to drive his expensive car cross country, and the guy he hired was Dana Carey. And it's a lot of other funny people in it. You guys have to check it out. It's one of them 80s movies. Oh yeah, you guys will love it.
Let's say. We talked about travel. I already got Pinak with this earlier, but since you're new to this part of the cast, Sista, how long have you been doing comedy?
I have officially been doing comedy about 3.5 years now.
Okay.
And I've been in entertainment for about 20 years. I've always been a talker, public speaker, Toastmasters. Oh God, I love Toastmasters. I'm gonna get a tattoo of a T on my arm or something. I just won a speech contest the other day. But it just helped me take my natural stuff and put some structure to it. And took acting classes and all that type of stuff. I've been building up to get to this.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
so
cool.
like, how did you get into like being a Toastmaster and like doing that shit?
Somebody different people recommended the organization, and then I finally went to a meeting, and it was like, just a regular meeting, but they clapped a lot. That was one thing. I was like, the fuck they clapped again. Oh, okay. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But people get up giving their speeches, and then they would have people to evaluate it. We should go to a meeting. It's free. Go to a meeting, and there's a portion at the end. They usually like 2 or 3 prepared speakers, and they'll do like a 5 to 7 minute speech. And then at the end, you can do a 1 minute or 1 to 2 minute impromptu speech, and they give you a topic, and that's for all the guests that come. And so you can get up there, do your stuff, and you get an evaluation, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's not free, but it's worth every penny.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's like a fraternity too. We're everywhere.
Yeah. that was part of the
umbrella corporation, baby.
Yeah.
See, that's
Toastmasters.
See, yeah, you had me until
Where's
then.
the
Now
camera?
I'm like, is this a cult? What are we doing?
Once you get in, you love it.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could get in. I thought being a Toastmaster was something you had to be bred into.
Right. I want to do the.
Yeah, add that sound bite in there.
Yeah.
Or I'll run back in there. I'll do like a very. I should just get this like stock clip of me on my actual drum set back there and just do the rim shot. And I'll just splice that in every time I do an awful pun.
I think that would be really funny if you just record yourself actually
rim shotting
it. Yeah.
Oh, let me ask you a question before we close out. Have you guys seen any good movies lately? I have a movie date tonight.
Oh.
And I don't know. I have no idea what movies are out there.
Are you guys watching like in theaters? Or?
In theater.
Okay. I don't know what's out there right now.
Have you guys heard anything?
Like, I mean, I know the new Avatar movie's out.
Yeah.
I know Black Panther's out. I have not seen either of those.
I might want to see the Avatar movie.
What else is out right now? That sounds interesting. Like that could be like a date.
Yeah.
That's also the other question.
But I'm all in. I can do action. I can do, I really don't like rom-coms. They're not. They're kind of stupid.
No, I'm not saying like that. I meant more of like, you don't want to watch like a drama. You know? You're not trying to go watch The Whale on a date.
No.
I
think this is done. Do you have any experience with these? That's why my phone was buzzing. It wasn't charging.
I have no experience with this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you throw it away for me.
Very long.
Okay.
I've had her forever. Look, her. I've had her forever. She has traveled with me.
You sound like you're describing an IUD at this point.
Right. She has got me out of a jam. Like, let me charge my phone real quick. But yeah, so Black Adam. Oh, that's what's his name? The Rock. Yeah. I fell in love with his TV show, Young Rock. I
haven't seen that.
It is absolutely adorable, and it's hilarious. And I'm a big WWF fan, so he kind of goes behind the scenes of how he grew up with like Andre the Giant and Randy's. Oh my gosh,
it's so his dad was a huge wrestler.
Yeah,
too, so he grew up around that whole scene.
It has 2 seasons on like the Roku channel. Yeah. Oh gosh,
did you ever watch Fighting with My Family?
Not yet. I heard that was good.
It was a movie he produced. Florence Pugh is actually the star of that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
She is incredible, but it's actually based off of like an actual female wrestler and like her story and shit. So yeah, it's really good. The Rock produced it and features in it. Like he's like in a few guest like scenes. That's about it. But it's really good. She's so good in that. It was like in my opinion, it was probably like her breakout role. That was like the big role before all of the other ones started coming out. Like before she started doing like Midsommar and Little Women and all these other things. But so good. It's like a really good family movie, but also like a good like biopic as well and story.
Okay.
Yeah. It does.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as I'm having trouble remembering what's in theaters right now too. But yeah, Black Panther, Black Adam, and Avatar: Way of Water.
Yeah, I probably just do Black Adam. Since we're talking about The Rock, I love The Rock.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know that, we're engaged.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max now too, so I'm about to watch that soon.
Oh, that's even better. Nope, I am not going over his house. Nope, it's got to be in the theater.
Yeah.
Sister Lou ain't got time for that. Okay.
Wait, The Rock's house? You're going over to his house?
I wish.
And the pancakes afterwards, so you catch him on like one of his cheat days.
Yeah.
Where he does, like, the 14 pancakes.
Honey, all the pancakes. I don't even like pancakes, but I'd eat his pancakes.
His pancakes.
I sure would.
Sister Lou's already decided this interview's over.
I'm
sorry.
She's mic dropping. She's dropping
I'm sorry. Yeah, let me sit back down.
The problem is we got her talking about The Rock. She's getting all hot and bothered.
Yeah,
now.
I'm like,
she gotta go take care of business out the
get
car.
to him. So sorry.
Yeah, I did want to ask you as well because, like you said, like you like got into entertainment for like 20 years. Like, what have you done? Because like I've been doing like that's kind of how my thing as well is like I basically grew up on the stage. Like I don't know if I talked to you about, but I grew up as a dancer. And so like, that was the thing.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So like that was like since I was 5 years old, I've been performing in front of like on the stage in front of people. And then when I was like 14, I started DJing as well and started running my own like doing events and things like that through that. And so I would MC and DJ and like dance and stuff. So that was my foray into like getting on stage and starting to get into like things with entertainment and shit like that. So like how like when you say you started like 20 years ago, like what was like the first thing that like you really got you into the stage and like entertainment?
The first thing was doing plays and stuff in high school. And I got picked up by what agency is that? It's closed now. It's not Heyman. Oh, it's an old school, whatever. So I got to do some shows with them and stuff, and they would have me do. This is back when we used to do a lot of promotional stuff, and I'd be doing demos, or I could sell anything. Okay, so they would put me out there and just to test the waters, and then I would be doing different projects. I do a lot of community projects. That is, I love to volunteer when I have time. I really enjoy that. So that's where the Sista came from. They said, they just call me Sista. Like, that's Sista right there. And doing that, I got offered to like host shows, like festivals and stuff. And then the festivals just got bigger. I became the host of the Juneteenth Festival for about 12 years straight.
That's awesome.
And it was like, I don't know, 15,000 people in the park, 3-day event in the middle of June. Oh my God. But I learned a lot. I learned so much about the entertainment business and contracts. And I also was the entertainment coordinator for like their feature acts and stuff. So like I got to work with like Maxi Priest and Genuine and Ray J, all these people just doing, stuff, business with them or whatever. But still hosting, and I would sing sometime, get to cracking jokes. And that's how somebody's like, man, you doing all this stuff. You need to, it's good, but you need to put some structure to it. And that's what I learned in Toastmasters. They have a curriculum and you go project by project, and every project forces you to work on different things like visual aids, or they have a whole project you just concentrate on your breathing, that type of stuff. And
because it's good to diversify your portfolio, but you still have to have that portfolio in a cohesive manner that people can look at and be like, these are things you do and these are things you bring to the table.
I volunteer with a company called Voice Corps, and they have a whole internet station, and they read periodicals and magazines, grocery store ads for the blind, and they tune in, they listen to it with their hands. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know what I mean. And they so that they can figure out whatever's going on. We also read chapters of books and stuff like that. So from doing that, I got offered to do voiceover commercials. First, it was just local stuff and free stuff, but now, well, I don't know if you guys ride the Coda bus, but my voice is the voice on the Coda bus.
What?
Mhm. Talk about goodwill or please push the doors are open or whatever. That shit's really cool.
That's dope as shit though. Like
I have
that's
to.
dope. Like that's cool. Like that's really cool.
Yes.
Like every time people are riding the Coda bus, they're listening to Sista Lou.
Like, don't even know
it's
it.
like it's like you don't think about like the voice actor behind Siri. You know, like there is there is a voice actor who lent her voice to the creation of Siri. And like that's such an interesting like aspect. Like, you don't think about that. And I was thinking about that too in New York when I was there. Like, you hear the things talking. Like there was somebody who recorded this. Like, and like was like because it's not. And
your voice is unique to you. Like nobody sounds like you. You know.
And like because I'm not talking about like you're at this stop like that shit. But like in between you hear stuff like, hey, if you see something, say something. Like all those things. Like some voice actor recorded that and like was paid for that. And so it's just really interesting to like see that. Like that's really cool that like the Coda bus is that's dope.
Next time I go to Columbus, I will be actually excited to ride a Coda bus.
Oh man!
I will go to Columbus just to hop on a Coda bus.
I'm gonna tell all the people I know who don't have cars, like, hey, you know what? But you at least listen to Sista Lou every time.
On the bus. No, I'm really thankful for the projects that I have gotten to work on, and I'm looking forward to 2023 being even better.
Yeah.
If I had a cocktail, I would toast. Next time we see each other, we'll have to do a shot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, after we hit the recording here, I mean, I'll make a cocktail. I got a very extensive liquor cabinet.
Oh, well, that sounds like I should take my jacket off.
Say,
Why didn't you say so?
I got grilled cheese and tomato soup over there.
Real ass stinker. Oh, I ain't shit.
Yeah, I'll say, I work for the government by the day. So,
okay.
Yeah, of course I drink. Yeah. Especially this time of year.
Oh, honey, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's gotten to the, you know what? There's some things we just don't understand. I'm gonna say that. I was sending out Christmas cards. Now I don't know if you guys do this. You know how you go to these clubs, wherever you're at, out of town. I sent Christmas cards to all the places that I performed at out of town. With one of my business cards and a personalized note, like, "Oh, I had so much fun over the summer at your thing."
A good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard.
That is work.
Like, even just to find the car, I found the cars like 2-3 weeks ago, and they rode around in my car, and I was like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." And finally, it was like, "Oh shit!" Like
it's a week away.
Yeah. So I went to the post office maybe Thursday.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, so I handed them all these envelopes. It was going all these different places. I said, so how much money is this going to cost me? And he was like, he just kept looking like, what do you mean? I said, I don't want them to get this before Christmas. He was like, man, you could just put a stamp on them. Like, we'll get it there. Like, we ain't that fucking slow. And I was like, oh. I said, no, I just thought because, he was like, nah. And it was really, it might have been Wednesday. Yeah. And he was like, you got plenty. He said, just get some stamps.
If you're doing packages.
I said, one stamp? Yeah. He was like, yeah.
If you're sending packages, we're a little behind there. Yeah, as far as letters, yeah. So few people send Christmas cards now, but any mail you have, it's gonna still be like next day, maybe 2 days from now. Like, so on the mail we're pretty good. It's just on packages. That's where our systems were never designed to have the influx of packages that we have now. So we're dealing with outdated systems, and so we have a little bit of a buildup on the packages, but. Yeah.
So as long as you didn't send them a box of chocolates with it, the card, you're
right.
good.
Yeah. The chocolates will get there January 8th.
Right.
But that card will get there.
The card will get there.
I think it's going to be a nice touch.
Absolutely.
That's a good move. That is a good and classic move.
I have an old school mentor, old white guy, and he was like, he had asked me. He said, how come I didn't get my Christmas card yet? And I was like, fuck yeah, I didn't send one. Like, what do you mean? He was like, for real, like you made it in a couple of places that was my first time being there, And I want them to remember me. Like all of these books and stuff that I'm reading now, and it's about how to change the habit, like we're saying, the algorithm, and so I'm like, okay, so I want this new network. I want to whatever in Indianapolis and would you say Pittsburgh? Mm-hmm. I would love to just to kind of get some sort of rapport with those people because that's how you get booked.
Yeah.
Everybody's sending them emails every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you got to make yourself stand out.
So
we
got it. 2023, we got it.
Yeah. Gonna be the year for all three of us.
Yes, sir.
Actually, so on that note, Sista Lou's got some cocktails to drink, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. So I'll say, tell all the people where they can support you, where they can follow you.
You can support me from the bottom up because I got 50 inches of ass. Okay. Oh, remember that joke I told when I was like,
support Sista Lou, bend at the knees.
Right.
Lift with the legs, not the back.
Remember this, Pinak, when I was at Club 20, I said, hey, welcome to the Lou Airlines, where bottoms go first. Oh, damn. I forgot how I did it. Oh, see, now I done fucked up my own joke. That's a damn shame. But it was we're the bottom because the bottoms come first. It was whatever.
It's over now.
The moment is over. My bad. But anyway, and thanks you guys so much. You can find me on IG SISTA_LU. And if you follow me, I will follow your funky ass back. SISTALU on IG.
And you can find me on Instagram at Pink Petal Comedy. That's PINKPETAL Comedy. It's something someone called me in high school to be an asshole, and now that's mine. And also follow Mosaic Minority Podcast. It's on Instagram. The YouTube page is up. First episode's up. Hopefully, by the time this thing goes up, more episodes will be out there too. So check that out on all the places you listen to podcasts as well as YouTube and shit. Yeah.
Awesome. And like I said, depending on when this comes out, I'm recording my first special January 21st, Grown Up.
Yes.
At the Homestead Cherry Valley Public House. Yeah, depending on when I do it. Just come check that out. And then various shows around Newark, a few in Columbus here. Just follow me again, The Real Destin Richardson on IG. YouTube. Also, I just uploaded a channel. I'll have more content on that. I'm now on TikTok, Snapchat. You can mail me a letter. That'd be cool too. Send me a box of chocolates.
Yes.
But not right now. It won't get to me till after Christmas. But anyway,
send it through Amazon. It might still get there.
So thanks again, and let's get drunk.
Yeah. Cool.
Bye guys. Take care. Be safe.
All right.